to do down there. That's for sure, meeting our new neighbors.
And we already had so many people coming into the building. We've gotten to meet people in the community, and it really has opened us up to getting to meet people and to news stories and everything that's down there. It's been fantastic.
You're right, but notice that ribbon cutting was held indoors, Cassie.
Absolutely.
Woo.
Yeah. It was so cold. I mean, it's still cold.
Frigid.
And it's going to get even colder. Yeah, it seems like we went from fall to now into winter. On Action Live, you can see the difference compared to where we were, like last week when it was all rain and storms. Well, this time around, now we've got on our precipitation layer. So we are looking at a little bit of everything. Rain, snow, and we've even had a report down in Ada of some sleet. So it is cold, not only at the surface, but aloft as well. Not everything that you're seeing is hitting the ground, but we could see some flurries even here in Oklahoma City. Also had some reports of some very light snow and flurries around Ponca City. So it is cold. It's going to get even colder. We've got a freeze warning for all of western, central, southern Oklahoma for overnight tonight. Temperatures will be dropping down into the 20s. In the meantime, this is our Guthrie camera. Part of our Pike Pass SkyCam network. We're at 38 degrees. We've got a north wind sustained at 26. Wind gusts at 34 makes it feel more like 26 degrees. Temperatures in the upper 30s to around 40 to the north. Lots of low 40s across the Red River. Again, combine that with a north wind anywhere between about 20 to as much as around 35 miles an hour. Well, it's going to feel more like the 20s for many of us. Still feels like the upper 30s and even some low 40s in far eastern Oklahoma. But no matter where you go in Oklahoma, it is cold. It's going to stay pretty cold even throughout the weekend. This trough is going to slowly move off to the east, and they're going to be tracking our next storm that will be moving in here in just a few days. So tomorrow, temperatures in the 40s. It's certainly going to start in the 20s, so it's going to be cold, but by Sunday, we're going to kind of moderate a little bit, get into the low 50s, but here comes that next winter storm. And right now, it's still on track to arrive as early as Monday morning in western Oklahoma, and then during the day, making its way across the state from west to east. And it's going to be cold enough that we're not only going to get some rain, but we're going to see a rain and snow mix. Parts of the state, especially on the northern and western sides of the state, could see just plain snow throughout the entire event. Behind it, it's still going to be very cold. Temperatures in the 30s and 40s for daytime highs. And then we've got another wave that's going to try to move in by the end of next week. This one doesn't look nearly as ominous. It does look like we could get a few flurries out of that, but one thing's for sure, it is bringing in much colder air with highs struggling to get out of the 20s for daytime highs. And then after that, eventually, it does look like temperatures won't be so low. But for this evening, there is a chance that we're going to get some flurries even here in Oklahoma City. I think the farther south and east you go, you're going to run into slightly warmer air. So we're talking about just plain light rain. We're dropping down to about 24 degrees in Oklahoma City tomorrow morning. The low 20s across the northwest, the upper teens in Guymon, 23 in Clinton, the upper 20s and low 30s across the east and southeast. Tomorrow afternoon, eventually, that wind will be shifting to the south and east, so temperatures warming into the upper 40s in Oklahoma City, the low 50s across the west, and the low to mid 40s across the east. Sunday afternoon, it's going to be a south wind. In fact, it's going to be kind of blustery in western Oklahoma, but temperatures still manage to make it into the low to mid 50s. I think during the day, we will start to see increasing clouds ahead of that storm that will be moving in on Monday. But by Monday morning, I think it's going to move in from the west, and it's still going to be fairly warm enough, again, above freezing at least, that we're going to start out with plain rain, eventually transitioning to a rain and snow mix. The further south you go, just cold rain. The farther north and west you go, just plain snow. And then during the day, temperatures in the mid 30s, some low 30s across north, upper 30s across the south and southeast. But eventually, everyone's going to get a little bit of something. But right now, it looks like most of the state would see a rain and snow mix. The farther north and west you go, still looking at plain snow. But how much are we looking at? Well, these numbers will change until then. We're going to fine-tune it every day until we get closer to the actual event. But right now, it looks like most of us would see about a dusting. The farther north and west you go, that's where the chance is a little bit higher to see more accumulating amounts. We're talking anywhere from 2 to 4 inches at best. But here's the thing, it's been so warm around here lately. Ground temperatures are still very warm, so it's going to be really hard to accumulate. Even if we were to get a couple inches in Oklahoma City, it's not going to last more than probably a couple minutes. So for the rest of this evening, temperatures do come down with a slight chance of flurries. It's going to be cold, it's going to be a little breezy. This weekend, though, dry, still chilly with that winter storm moving in on Monday. Guys, back to you.
Enjoy those couple of minutes, Cassie. Thank you. Don't forget, our team of weather experts and storm trackers will be out tomorrow helping everyone get prepared for the winter season. They'll be at Bob Mills Furniture from 10 to noon. The first 100 people to get there will get a winter weather kit, so be sure